Hello everybody, welcome back. So, of course I'm going to start with a glitch. It's FIFA. For some reason, Liverpool were in the Europa League, the Conference League, and they showed the background. We also signed Jason Llewellyn, and then we signed Shortire from Manchester United, and we also signed Maximilian Eggestein from Freiburg, and we also sold Ryan Schofield to Middlesbrough. So now we're in the Premier League. We face Spurs away. Biggest game in Doncaster history. I've had to speed this a little bit up for copyright, but this was a team we went for on our first ever Premier League game. It was a good tip over from Lloris. Shortire with a pass out to Eggestein, and what about that for the first goal in the Premier League? It's a pinpoint pass and a volley, top corner. It just looks so nice from this angle in slow-mo. I mean, look at how nice that looks. It's just so satisfying as it hits the top corner of the net. Then Milinkovic-Savic played it into Heung-min Son. He forced a good save out of Butland, who will be making saves all through this episode. And there's another one there. And then we looked up to try and press for two. Alcaraz, great save from Hugo Lloris. This video I'm not going to be showing goals, I'm also going to be showing saves. But it was through, and what a goal that was from Antoine Griezmann. That unfortunately wasn't a save to show. Patrick Watts gave away a free kick, and after Griezmann, for some reason on this free kick, whips it in, De Ketelaere wins the header and knocks it in, and they're level. But we don't give up, and Francis, in the 92nd minute, scores an absolute belter to win us the game against Tottenham Hotspur. What a legend. But then we had to face Liverpool, another big game for them in terms of being top of the table, and it should be a walkover. It was 1-0 to them. But Alcaraz, look at this for a goal. Top corner. I mean, that is just delicious. Although Liverpool then do go forward, force Butland into an incredible save. He is a great goalkeeper. And of course they're going to score that one though just before half time. They then pushed up again to get third and top bins from Mo Salah. And then we were like, hang on, you've just scored 3. I'm going to go and try and score and get one back. I laid it off to Llewellyn, who got the goal. It's 3-2 at the moment. Liverpool need another one for their cushion, and Diego Jota, the one, can deliver the goods. We then push into Brighton in the Carabao Cup. Cup competitions, I wasn't really focused on this year. I was mainly focused on the Premier League and trying to survive. We do get the goal against Brighton, and they do try and push forward to get another one, but Butland sticks out a foot and makes a very nice save. Then Shortire, ex-Man United, whips it in for Alcaraz, and what a save that was from Sanchez. That's the best save I've seen best save I've seen so far. We do find the top bins to make it 2-0, and we push on to now relegation competitors Leeds. We do score to put it in the bottom corner, and we want to score again to get our first win of the season, and it's 2-0. But Leeds, they come back, then they're not going to make it easy. What a tackle that was from my defence though, but they're not going to make it easy for us. Butland with the heroics there, and it's into De La Cruz into Fernandez, who scores. They're looking to push up again. Gets into him. I thought he was going to go for the shot, the guy that was running in. I think in real life I would. It's a great save from Butland after it takes a little deflection, it looked like. And yes, Butland was that high off. I wanted to start the attack high. And it goes into Shortire, who gets that little ball in, who scores at the near post of Melier. But don't get excited yet, because Leeds are going to come back at you. And it was De La Cruz into Edmondson, who scored. Butland tips it off the post and in. It was unfortunate. We then have a free kick against Arsenal. I thought it was a penalty, but it was a free kick. We did end up missing, that's why it was cut. And Arsenal forced Butland into another incredible save. He is such a good goalkeeper. I would highly recommend him. But no one's saving that really, are they? This was obviously not trained up on the training ground, and they looked to try and get another one across goal. Little layoff. Very, very nice. Typical Arsenal. And they were looking to try and make it 3, which they did. Very unfortunate. The scoreline didn't really reflect the game. Now, another glitch in FIFA. I don't know how this happened, but it gave me the Champions League sort of cutscene, and then the background, But I'm not in that group. I'm not Man City, Barca, or Roma. I decided to sim a day, and my badge went. It didn't know what club I was for. It was really, really odd. And I just thought, and it showed an international game. I don't know why it was showing that on the main menu, but I just thought, well, I'll sim to Wolves and I'll see what happens here, because is the game broken? And it was perfectly fine from then on. And I could just push into the Leeds game. As you can see, we're 17th, 2 points out of 4 games. All the bottom teams had 1 except 20th, who had 2. And it relied on a good save from the Wolves goalkeeper to tip it round. Wolves only have 1 point this season, and I wasn't looking to give them another one, although they do score at Butland's near post. And they have a penalty in which Ruben Neves dispatches off the post and in. And Nelson Semedo is forced into having a corner due to that incredible tackle from Christian Ayer. Is his name Christian Ayer? Christopher Ayer. I don't know why I said Christian. Tolkien, though, knocks it in his near post. Look at this animation, though. Look at the way that his back bends. That's just weird, isn't it? It's just odd. Like, I don't think that's a very natural motion. And it is 1-0 to Doncaster, although that was to be short-lived. 20 minutes in, well, then equalised 2. But we score at the near post, and it's a great tackle from Ayer. And Butland forced into a save. Tolkien couldn't keep it in. One definite thing, great save from Butland again, that I'm going to be looking at next season is 2 new wing-backs, Bustos and Tolkien. They never really show me that they're worthy. Maybe Tolkien, but definitely a new right-back. I don't like using Bustos. I don't like his haircut either. We then faced Chelsea, and it was 1-0 to Chelsea. And then we faced Aston Villa. Butland with a bit of a calamity at the back to cost us that game, and then Man City came on and scored. And Man City, of course, scored again. And they looked like they were going to score again. I mean, it's Man City. They're literally a different breed above us. They did. They scored again. It's not even half-time and we're 3-0 down, but we held on after that. Now we face Bournemouth. Tonight we'll face Nottingham Forest. I'm going to be watching that game, cheering on Forest to hope that they get promoted. You obviously want your local teams to do well, and I also want to be able to watch Chelsea away. So I'm doing it for my own good, really. And what a block that was from my centre-back, although Bournemouth do then push on to make it 2-1 at Butland's near post. That seems to be where we concede the most. And Man U score in the Carabao Cup, and that is the only goal of that game. We then push on to Newcastle at home. Very nice goal, stays on his feet. And then we face Everton at Goodison Park, and off the crossbar and in for Alcaraz. And emphatic finish. Butland with a nice save, and we calmly play it out the back. And Gordon gets it across, and Sims scores. Ellis Sims, I definitely recommend using him in some of your career modes at least. It was a great save from Butland, though, as we face Leicester at home. Defensively, we're the worst defensive team in the league, but I think that we're pretty alright, to be fair. We then equalised against Leicester. In terms of some of the blocks that we make and some of the saves that Butland makes, it's the midfield that could be slightly weak, and the wing backs are weak. We then make it 2-1, and we're looking to try and push to make it 3, and Simeone does. That's 3-1 over Leicester, and they were looking just to help the goal difference, but Butland makes another incredible save. He literally like is on performance enhancers. Simeone picks up the match ball, and I'm not sure if that'll be the first time. Well, that is the first time. I'm not sure that'll be the last time. We then give away a penalty. I mean, look at the way he dives so much later. I mean, it's a foul, but there's no need to be theatrical about it. Ronaldo scores. I mean, it's kind of what you expect when he steps up. Thankfully, unluckily, it wasn't Bruno Fernandes, because he'd have scored. But look at this. Bustos, own goal though, against Butland. I was just saying I wanted Fernandes to take it, because then he'd miss. But own goal, I wanted him to clear it. He flukes it, and it goes in. Quite clearly goes in. Very, very frustrating. And Barlow tries to score at Old Trafford, and he can't, the original Doncaster man of 73 overall. And it's into Simeone, who puts it in the bottom corner. We actually did surprisingly better this season than I suspected we would. Pogba those scores to make it 4-1, and Man U wanted to make it 5, and I did not want it to be 5 at all. I was like, ref, blow the whistle. I took out Sancho with Patrick Watson, got a straight red card. Very disappointing. Very disappointing, our captain. Sancho obviously wasn't happy about that. We then faced Crystal Palace, and I don't know how that worked, to be fair. I mean, this defence of Crystal Palace was shocking. But, I mean, what a finish, though. I mean, you can't take that away from him. Edge of the box. Absolute banger. They do score again. Butland, nothing he could do about that one. And they were looking up to try and get another goal. But great save from Butland. And then it was a 2v1. Edouard bags it into the back of the net, bottom corner. Now, Alcaraz, against... These guys were a point below us, I think, when this game was in. And what a save from David Raya. We make our fair share of saves, but so did the AI. Some of their saves are just ridiculous. It's like, how did he pull that off? Although, how did he pull that off, Simeone? A 360 spinning goal, very nice. We then somehow hold on to it with Simeone. I mean, he is just a different level above the rest of our players, him and Alcaraz. And Patrick Watson at the back, and saying they are standout players. We then made it 2-0 against Brentford. Now this was one that I definitely wanted to hammer, and we score to make it 3-0 before it's even half time. And look at this little bit of skill, waiting for him to come. Oh, get done by Jack Butland. Not often you could say that, can you? And then Tolkien gives away a penalty. This is what I mean. They keep giving away penalties or handballs and stuff. It's really frustrating. They do have their penalty though, and Burmo. And he puts it down the middle and he scores. 3-1. It's into Alcaraz though. I think he's Argentinian, the camp. And we're very fortunate to have a second attempt at that. And guess who picks up the match ball? Simeone. I didn't think it was his last time picking it up this episode. He picks it up for a second time. He's definitely going to be up there for player of the episode. What a save from Andrea Nana, for some reason playing for West Ham. And we score. Very nice. Now, this is against Watford. We square it and we score. It's another skilled shot. Bustos there gives away that penalty. And it's down to Rakic. And he skies it. The whole game turned on its head after that penalty miss. And we were able to score. We took a touch. I would have preferred to knock it first time. But we do still get the goal in the end. A great block from Christopher Ayer. And it's loser into Kalu. Knocks it at Butland's near post. Now, that was actually cut. I didn't skip it very quickly. I wasn't very annoyed. I was like, oh well. But that was just a cut to speed this along so you could see that straight from kickoff, they give it straight to me. And I chip the keeper into the back of the net. Simeone with that goal. Now, Emmanuel Dennis. And they score to make it 3-2. And I wasn't happy having just one goal ahead. I wanted to score again. And Alcaraz scores into the bottom corner. Now, we're currently in a relegation zone, but on goal difference with Burnley. They've got a lot better goal difference than us. So it was important that we get as much points, or as many points as we can. And Butland with a very good save. He's definitely keeping the goal difference down. And definitely giving us a lot of points. We could have lost so many more points than we have with him in net. And it's another great save from the corner as well. Short tire on the volley, off the crossbar. I was gutted at that. Ready for that to be a goal of the episode. And what a save from Jack Butland as well, coming out of his goal unafraid. We then look for a goal here and we square it, and Simeone puts it at the near post. I think it's Dubravka in goal for them. Butland with a great save, and from this corner it's whipped in. Butland falls over his own defender and it goes in. We then sign Minamino on a pre-contract agreement. This was in about March, I think, or February or something like that. It's then into Alzate, the 1-2, and Brighton score. And they look to score again. It's a great save from Butland. But we just can't get it clear and they score again. We then face Manchester United for like what feels like the fourth time this episode. Probably only the third time. Pogba has some unreal ball control here. I mean, look at that. Not many people can do that. And we end up drawing that game 0-0 for the first time in this series, I think. It's a 0-0. Butland also gets Player of the Month. And against Manchester City, again, expected to lose. Johansson gets it, gives it straight back to them. Edge of the box, Alvarez, if he volleyed it, it would have been exactly the same circumstances as Rodri's goal against... I can't remember who it was against. Was it against Norwich? I can't really remember. Anyway, it was quite recent. Watford, that was it. It was Rodri's goal against Watford. Pep Guardiola, though, doing the typical Pep Guardiola thing, comforting the manager afterwards. And Leicester scored. We beat Leicester last time. They're playing in their alternate kit. And Prite scored, and we lost that one 2-0. We're in really bad form. We then pushed into this home game against Everton, and they were dominating. Damari Gray over to Kingsley Coman, forcing a good save out of Butland. We drew that one 0-0. Livramento doing some unnecessary skill moves, and Butland then makes that near post save. We're then looking here to score at St Mary's. Again, these guys, they're my bogey team, and they're relegation candidates. And it's all about staying calm. It's then into Johansson, who sees that run for short hire. I'm very happy with him as well. Not in all the highlights, he's being shown how good he really is, but on the ball, off the ball, he's incredible. We then were at the Emirates, and Ayer gives the ball away shockingly, but makes up for it. What a tackle that was. And then 15 minutes in, he avoids my tackle, plays it, and it's a goal for Isak. We then find Simeone, who scored at what seems to be just about every stadium in the Premier League so far. He scores against Arsenal. And they scored to make it 2-1. And that is how it ends. 35 games in. We're still in the relegation zone on goal difference. We then faced West Ham. And get that through ball to Simeone, who was offside quite clearly. It's a shame, because that goal would have been very, very different in this game. It's West Ham push up and score. We could be 1-0 up. We're now 1-0 down, and we lost that one. Against Chelsea, bicycle kick. Very, very nice indeed. They then force a good save out of Jack Butland. And from the corner, what about this? Alright. What a save, Jack Butland. That's the save of the episode, I think. The way he's flung himself across goal. And not just that, the circumstances in this game. We then score to make it 2-0 against Chelsea. And we're looking to make it 3. It's Alcaraz goes alone. Not even 20 minutes in. We're then 15th after 37 games played. I then decided to quick sim the final game of the season because I wanted to get it done on the day. And we drew 2-2. Meaning, if we look at the table, we're safe. We're staying a Premier League team. And this is our team. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really enjoyed doing this career mode. So, it's really good that I'm actually getting quite a few views on them and people are actually enjoying them. Make sure to smash a like on the video as well. Subscribe to the channel for more. New Forest video out soon. New Doncaster Rovers video out soon. So, I'll see you guys all in a bit. Stay safe and goodbye.